All right. Terror Talk.
Bop, bop.
Jordan Peele, is he our next Wes Craven or our next M.Night Shyamalan? Today on Terror Talk, we'll discuss.
First off, how are you today? Are you okay?
What?
You had a tough day at work. Are you okay?
How do you know they're even working, the people that were watching us?
All 29 people? I'm pretty sure 20 of them work.
9 of them are out of work?
9 of them, we don't know because we don't know who you are. But
We don't know. But today on Terror Talk, we're going to talk about one of the most, I don't know about polarizing. He's not polarizing.
I think he's, well, okay. I'm going to go ahead and say this.
Yeah.
I think he's a director who started off really hot.
Yeah.
But then the hype stayed.
Yeah.
But the quality did not.
The hype stayed on this director. The quality, in my opinion, has gone down over time.
Agree too.
And he's one of the most rising star. He's a rising star that's highly regarded. But honestly, at the end of the day, I'm not buying it. People are saying he's the next Wes Craven.
And I have a hard time watching some horror films.
But I'm
they're
thinking
saying
he's
Alfred
more
Hitchcock.
A mental process.
Alfred Hitchcock. And I'm thinking he's more like the next M. Night Shyamalan.
I have to agree. And here's what we mean by this. And first off, we're talking about Jordan Peele.
Whoa, you gave the reveal already? It was supposed to be a twist at the end. Yeah, we're talking about Jordan Peele. We're going to talk about Jordan Peele's movies. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into his movies, talk about the things that we like, and then just dive into like what his philosophies are in film and what we think of his films going forward.
And pretty much give you our Nope review, too.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Nope. That's the one we really want to harp on because that's the one that's brought the most attention and kind of the most divisive in the community and the one that a lot of people are afraid to talk about.
But we're not.
We're not. We're going to talk about it because we're sponsored today by Very Mega IPA, Imperial IPA. Good.
It's so good.
It's so refreshing.
They were like, hey, it's too berry tasting, right? Like, no way a berry tasting beer could do work.
No way.
But guess what? They didn't listen to others, and they did what made them happy.
They did. And this is an amazing beer brought to you by Yards Brewing Company in Philadelphia. Go visit them and enjoy Very Mega, Very Merry Berry IPA. If you like IPAs,
we're like 12 cans in deep right
Yeah.
now. So
if you like IPAs, this is definitely a beer for you. If you like,
and even if you don't like IPAs, personally, I don't like IPAs like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's delicious.
You drinking it?
Oh, I loved it. I love it.
So Jordan Peele started off as a comedic talent, comedic genius.
He was funny.
You saw him on Key and Peele, right?
Yeah, he was great.
And then, but the one thing about the Key and Peele show is, I don't know if you remember, there were some skits that delved a little bit darker than what they would, like
the horror stuff. Right?
Yeah, there was horror themed episodes or skits that were just a little bit darker than you would think. Like you're like, this is pretty funny, and then like the Urkel one.
Yeah. Did I say that? Did I do that?
Did I do that? Like
that skit
Urkel had like Tesla.
It's so underrated.
It's
Everybody
so
keeps
good.
talking about the I forgot what music it's called, but there's like a music scene that they're moving and they're playing it and they go crazy. But that Urkel one, it's amazing.
It's so good.
It's funny, but it gets dark.
It gets dark. It's scary. Like it's like
that?
alluding to the fact that Urkel, the reason why he went on for so long, Family Matters, that he was in complete control and he had telekinetic powers that would control the staff. And
then they're like all like doing coke. It's like,
It was dark. It was funny. It was creepy, and those sensibilities translated to Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key. They did the movie Keanu, right?
Yeah.
And that was their comedic movie. And
did you like that movie?
I loved it.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
I
thought
thought
it was
the
funny.
idea was like, yo, this is dumb.
Yeah.
But then it actually was
I
like,
loved
all right, it's
it.
actually good.
So funny.
It
I
was
think
funny.
about I quote that movie so many times. Like when it goes like this, when Tiffany Haddish goes up to Jordan Peele and he's like, man, I know you're kidding, man. I know you ain't gay. And then he goes like, how you know though? Like it's like I always quote that line. Like it's such gems of a line, and it felt like at that point with Key and Peele, they eat, breathe, sleep comedy. They could do this in their sleep. Like it just like they're masters at the comedy game.
But cinematic wise, there's some skits that are great.
Oh yeah.
Like there's the one I don't know if you saw this. Is with the mob guy that he was like, hey, come on, we're gonna go in this house. Oh, but the lights are off. They're like old school mobsters.
I think I remember that.
It's a surprise birthday party. Yeah. So he just walks in, opens, and everybody comes up slow motion to say happy birthday. And he's so paranoid because he's a mobster. He just starts shooting everybody. And they're playing like this. like old school like opera song in slow motion. I'm like, that's funny.
It's funny and
but
dark.
Cinematic, yeah, it's
and
dark.
cinematic. Yeah, their skits
like,
were always cinematic. So
yeah,
you always felt
it's shot well.
Yeah.
And directed well. So
and you always felt like there was more to their game than just like they started on Mad TV. They were on Mad TV.
Yes.
And it was like they did comedic roles, but when they did Keanu, they did their first movie. You're like, wow, they have a lot more in the tank than we think. And then Jordan Peele took the world by storm with his first movie. It was a horror movie.
Yes.
Which he directed and wrote called Get Out.
Yeah.
And woo, baby.
I remember when I heard that he's doing a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, right. You're like, he's a comedian. Why would he know about horror?
We've seen comedians do dark stuff and do well, like Jim Carrey.
Why do you think
when
that
he
is?
Started acting.
Why do you think it is where comedians make really good dramas and horror movies?
They always say that, if you're sad or depressed, generally you do a lot of like self-depressive, like you joke around too much
to deal with the pain, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, like
so
but
that's why people like, rest in peace, Robin Williams. He looks like he's the happiest guy, and then
he was so depressed. Yeah.
But then when he started doing dark roles, he did it so well.
I know, like 1 Hour Photo and all that stuff. So maybe
you're
that's
like,
why.
holy crap, this guy went from Mrs. Doubtfire to that. You're like, that's crazy. Yeah. And the same thing with like people like Jim Carrey, and here we go with Jordan Peele. Jordan
Peele with this movie Get Out. I mean, talk about horror movie excellence. This movie was so well paced, so good, so like relatable, right?
Yeah.
Relatable, like super relatable, because like if you were ever a person of color, you're like a person of color like myself, I'm black, right? I've dated white women in the past, right? And it's like when you meet their parents, like very similar. Like the concepts that they bring up in the fact that how we're trying to, like, the parents and the kid or whatever and the boyfriend, they're trying to come to some kind of relatability. It's so like that. It's like, like one of the dads like, oh yeah, I listen to Biggie Smalls. I mean, what do you think of that?
Or they're like, hey, we love Obama.
Yeah, that's like why that was in the movie. Like I would have voted for him a third time if I could. Like it's just trying to it's trying to find relatable stuff. Like I remember one of the dads that I met was like, hey, I really like basketball. Like, do you like basketball?
For me, it's very much like, oh, I love spicy food.
Yeah, right.
I like rice and beans.
Because you figure like that's the way I can connect. Where in the fact that in race relations, we probably have a lot more in common than the things that you think, the stereotypical stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But this was a great movie. I mean, like the movie you've seen Get Out. I mean, it's an interracial couple. He's meeting the parents for the first time. He goes there, and then he finds out there's something a lot more sinister going on. And I love the little nuances in the film. The film is so. It's like perfect, like the opening scene, not the opening scene, but when they're going, the cop asks for the ID of Daniel Kaluuya's character, and she's like, you don't have to give him your ID. You're thinking that the cop is being racist and that his girlfriend's standing up for him, but she's making it so there's no record of him being there. You know, it's like little details.
That thing is tough because
perfect.
Like Get Out, you have to watch it more than once.
Yes. No, you have to watch it more than one time.
It's not a movie. You can watch it once and you enjoy it. But when you watch it again, you start noticing like
all the little things.
Like what just Will said. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh wow, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's like all those little things that you thought were like one thing, but actually were something else. Yeah. And we get to the house and everything's weird, but it's not too weird to the point where you would leave.
But also, they're fancy.
They're fancy.
They're rich.
They're rich.
Yeah.
So you figure like you've been around people. Like I've been around a group of like. Honestly, I've been around a group of like, like 50, like not 50, but like 20, 30 white people. Oh, I'm only black person in the entire party. And it's really awkward. It is awkward sometimes, like when you're around rich white people.
Well, because you know what it is? I feel that when you're a person of color and you're in that situation, they're uncomfortable. But they're trying to relate to you.
They're trying to relate to you.
And but then they accidentally become racist.
Right.
Because they do stereotypes.
And in their way of trying to make you feel comfortable, it makes it more uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like, it's like...
because it's constantly like, oh, yeah, I love Home Depot. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, let's go.
Hey, have you built any sheds lately?
Hey, my yard, what do you recommend?
What do you recommend for the sod? I'm sure you have a good yard.
What kind of lawnmower you use? Electric or gas, though?
Like I might be into golf or something right there. And they'd be like, oh, who's your favorite basketball player? And it's like...
Even me, a lot of people get like I blow people's mind when they're like, oh...
You blow?
blow people's minds.
Oh, minds. Okay.
When it
Sorry
comes
about
to classical music, because
Yeah, there you go.
a lot of people see me, they're like, "Oh, this guy loves Bad Bunny or something like that." But when I can actually name like classical,
But you love Bad Bunny too, don't you?
Some of his songs,
Yeah,
I'm late to him, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have to represent him because Puerto Rican. But
You got to represent.
I have to.
But he nailed that
Yeah.
awkwardness, and then
But
obviously
in a right way.
in the right way. Yeah.
To the point that where what
You
they're
wouldn't leave.
saying,
You wouldn't leave.
Yeah, it's just like you feel it, and you're like, oh,
Right.
okay, they're trying.
Right, they're trying. It didn't feel sinister. It just felt like awkward, which everything is awkward. When you're meeting parents in the first, I don't care who they are. I mean, listen, you could date, like, you could meet you're black and you're meeting black parents. It's still awkward. It's not easy. It's still weird. It still gets weird, especially if you're not like, they may be Caribbean and you may be like ADOS or like American black. Like there's differences there that make it awkward too.
Yeah.
And he nailed the awkwardness. He nailed it where it was like, it wasn't funny. Like it wasn't a comedy, but the situations were funny because you recognize like how awkward it is. Like it made you
relate to it.
Relatable.
Yeah.
And when the horror hits, it's kind of too late, right, for everything. But like when the horror hits, it hits. Like it hits fast.
Yeah.
It hits hard. It's exciting. I wouldn't say it's like a super horror scary movie, but it's a really thrilling movie.
It's like almost psychological thriller, but it's getting to the cusp of horror.
Yeah, it's on the cusp of horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's hard not to say that this is a horror movie.
Yeah. And also like the little things that he puts on, it's so this movie is so well thought out and so detailed. Like even the point where his friend says like, my friend's missing, right? Goes to the police and the police don't take him seriously. Like it's a commentary on how when a black person goes missing, their efforts are not there for it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know what, a black person missing, okay, whatever, who cares? But when like another person goes missing, they make a big deal out of it. It's all in the news. It was just kind of a play and commentary on that.
Yeah.
And like all the little nuances of it is like, it's not a movie that's hung up on race, but it is a movie that makes commentary on race. Like it's the perfect balance of like, it's not too preachy, but it's lets you know like these things do exist. Like you recognize it. And his wife is white too, so it's like
she's
that's
funny
kind
as hell too.
Yeah, she is good.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
But that's like it's built from. I feel like it's a very personal movie that's built from his own experiences, like trying to relate to the family.
I like the grilling parts of the family members. You know, when his mom sat him down on the couch.
Yeah.
Obviously, she put him in like a psychic whatever. Right?
Yeah. The reason was because they were going to take his body.
But still, there's so many awkwardness when you're dating somebody.
Yeah.
When you meet them for the family, like situations like that, they start grilling you.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your intentions? What's this? You know, that kind of stuff.
Do you smoke? Do you drink? Like,
yeah.
But really, she's just seeing if he's a good vessel.
Yeah.
You know. But that movie was fantastic.
It was great.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any flaw. I think casting was.
Yeah.
And even the comedic relief. The guy who was he worked at the airport.
Yeah. The TSA guy.
Yeah. He was great.
He was good.
Like he was just there just to like relieve the tension that
tension, like pull like a pressure relief valve.
Yeah.
And the original ending was supposed to be that he goes to jail.
Really?
Yeah, that was the original ending.
Wow.
Because he wanted to show that racism still exists in America, blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But he figured like, let me give the audience a win because we never win in these movies. Black people always dying in these movies. Let's give them a win, you know. And he changes the ending that was really crowd pleasing. Like it's a crowd pleasing movie. It's a piece of fiction, but it makes you feel good like watching it, right? It's thrilling, it's interesting, it's smart, and it's just a perfect thriller to me.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I loved it.
And I know you guys were agreed to. You agreed that it's a good movie. Next he did was
Us. Now,
I'm gonna tell you real quick. I didn't like it.
So I liked it. I liked Us.
I just didn't like because you go from that to this.
Yeah, I see.
The thing is, Us was like it wasn't scary to me.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But they try to sell it that is scary, and that's the problem that bothered me about it. You know, what I mean? Like somebody with scissors, I'm fucking you up.
I liked Us. Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Scissors, get them scissors out my face.
Scissors?
I liked Us, but the problem with Us, the biggest problem with Us is that Parasite came out right after it, or right around the same time. And Parasite is a superior movie to it that has the same commentary that Us is trying to make. See,
that's the thing.
About class.
I think what Us was trying to do was what Parasite did.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
But they executed better.
But that's my biggest problem with it, because when Parasite came out at the same time as Us, it did it better. It did what Us was trying to say better in Parasite.
Yeah, because Us was complicated. I feel like what Parasite did and what Us tried to do.
Commentary on class.
Yeah, it's just Us went a different direction, but it was more complicated to understand.
Because the thing is about Us is like what they're trying to say is like, look, you're married, you're born, you can't pick where you're born, right? You're born into a good family with a two-parent household in America, you're probably going to do okay, right?
Yeah.
You're born into a third world country where everybody's malnourished.
And your family dies young.
Yeah, and they die and they're malnourished, and you can't get a job. The best job you can get is a bar girl or a chimney sweep. I'm like, whatever. But you know what I mean?
Like really random jobs.
Yeah, it's a random job. I picked two random jobs, but like in America,
sweep.
we have a lot of privilege, right?
Yeah.
No matter what color you are. If you're in America, you can get a good job, you can get good education, there's a lot of loans.
It's all on your choice.
It's all your choice,
because
right?
when it comes to jobs, it's kind of like you choose to pick a hard job.
Right.
Or get the education to go get a better one.
Yeah, get a better one. Or if you're born in like the middle of Afghanistan in a war zone, let's say, right? You don't have that choice.
Yeah.
You have nothing. You're behind 10 8 balls, not just one.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that like you have to work 50 million times harder than somebody that was born in Arkansas, right? In the middle of Arkansas, or born in the middle of New Jersey. You have all the opportunity in the world, and a lot of people waste it. But us is that commentary on the fact that it's not about who you are necessarily or what you are, but it's where you're born, where you are, how you're raised, what privileges you have, and it's establishing there. But Parasite is kind of saying the same thing about class, but does it exceptionally better. And it won the Academy Award, so obviously.
Yeah, well, but it does it in a way that it makes sense. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
not to sound like that,
it's more abstract.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more abstract.
Us is one of those movies. Oh, you got to watch again. You got to watch somebody break it down for you sometimes.
You got to dissect it a little bit.
Yeah. Versus Parasite, you watch it once.
You get it.
You get it.
Immediately.
And it's not because they're saying what it is. It's just you see what's going on.
Yeah, and I think the problem with us is that there's no real peril for our characters.
Okay.
Right? All our characters live in this movie. There's no tension to the point where I ever thought any of these characters were going to die.
And I just didn't think,
it's not very tense.
Lupita
Nyong'o, yeah.
She wasn't scary to me. When she
the
was
bad one?
Yeah, I was just like...
And then you find out the bad one is really the good one.
Yeah, and I'm just like...
Nature versus nurture.
Like for me, this wasn't a horror movie. This was kind of like... For me, it was a drama.
I've seen... Yeah, it's like a character drama. And the thing is, I've seen it twice, right? Yeah. I've seen Parasite about 10 times.
I agree.
I've
seen Us... I would say maybe 3 times I saw Us.
Yeah.
But Parasite, I've seen more than 10 times.
Yeah, I've seen 10.
I love Parasite.
I love Parasite. One of my favorites.
Parasite is great acting, great director, great writing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Score-wise is beautiful because it just brings the correct tension for each scene.
Yeah.
Versus Us, it's kind of empty.
Yeah. And I remember our friend Amy was talking about we were talking about Us and Parasite versus them, and she was really like yo, Us, like it sucks because like Parasite really like did it way better. And the thing is, I just seen Parasite and Us. I literally just seen it as we're having that discussion, and I was like, I was disagreeing with her. I'm like, look, Us still has its place, but as I watched Us again and I watched Parasite again, I'm like, yo, she was dead on. Like Parasite, like it was 2 similar films that came out at the same time that were trying to say the same thing, but one just did it in a superior fashion, and it's hard to ignore that at this point.
And one wasn't even in English. That's how good it was executed.
It was fantastic, and the ending
is
like
about Parasite, how great it is. It's just like,
and both endings, Parasite and Us, they try to punch you in the stomach at the end, right? Because at the end, you realize, oh, this is the other person, not the other person.
And
they
Parasite,
switch.
like, oh man,
and Parasite,
they just killed everybody. At the
at the end in Parasite, they're like, when he's imagining buying the house and getting his dad out of there, you realize he'll never be able to do that, right? Like he'll never make enough money to do that no matter what he does, right? Nothing will be able to get him this house, right? At the end of the movie where he says he's going to save his dad, he can't. He won't. Never, ever. And that's the gut punch in the stomach because he believes it, but we know he can't.
But you see, it's how they did it.
It's how they did it, yeah.
That's the thing about, and then we're not trying to say, oh, Parasite's better than Us. I like
it Parasite. Is. No, but it is better. I'm saying that.
But we're not trying to shit on Us. Like saying,
no,
like,
no.
Oh,
it's just unfortunate it came at the same time.
Well, Parasite executed much better.
Much better. And Us is like, it's enjoyable enough, but it's really, like, when you break it down, it really isn't that good of a film.
Yeah.
I liked it to an extent, to the point where, like, I found it enjoyable enough. But the more time, I think it suffers. I only seen it twice, but during the second viewing, I'm like, this gets considerably worse as I'm watching it.
For me, it's upsetting because the cast was great, phenomenal actors and
Yeah.
actresses, and I'm just like, I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
You know, I remember watching it.
And it was like at
It
one
kind of
point.
sold me as a horror movie. You know what I mean? And it wasn't. And I was just like, oh man.
Yeah, it's cool because we're riding on the hype of Get Out, and then we get to
Exactly.
us,
That's why
and then
I'm
we're like,
maybe I'm spoiled because I went from Get Out to this, and I'm like, I was expecting so much more, and yeah.
And it was a little bit of a disappointment. But
it's great that you brought up Parasite though, because it's just done better.
It's done better. It's the same time. They're trying to say the same thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, then we move to his third movie.
Candyman.
Well, Candyman he wrote. He didn't direct it.
Oh, really?
He wrote it. Yeah, I didn't like Candyman at all.
Well, I guess we could talk about it since he. Well, that's after Candyman. What was it? It was Nope.
Well, Nope. Yeah, Nope. Yeah. Did Nope come before Candyman? I think Nope came.
No,
before
Candyman came first.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Came out first.
Yeah, Candyman came out quick.
But Candyman wasn't. It was written by him.
Yeah.
Nia DaCosta wrote that one. I mean, directed that one.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, I think they made it way worse. I'm not a fan of Candyman at all.
I have to agree with you, man. I mean, I remember you were making a lot of jokes about the new Candyman. I was just like, let me see this shit.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it. You know what's so sad about this Candyman? The trailer looked amazing.
Amazing.
I remember I was like, yo, this is going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't.
It wasn't good at all. Like, it was like in that movie, you were safe if you were black or a person of color or Asian. Like, he only killed white people in that movie.
He'll be fine. And then Candyman will look at me like,
I'm not sure.
You know what? I'm not sure, so just get out of here, kid.
It was a worse version of everything that the Candyman came in. I think the number one critique from African American people about Candyman, the original, is that if Candyman is a vengeance ghost who has inflicted great racial injustice against him, why is he killing black people? Right?
And in that neighborhood, too.
In that neighborhood. Why is he targeting black people? The point is, the reason why he's killing black people is because it doesn't matter. He's a rageful, vengeful ghost. It doesn't matter how he got there. If you call his name, he's coming to get you.
Yeah.
No matter what color you are. But in this new Candyman, they're just like, yeah, we're not killing any black people in this movie. Like,
well, I don't want to say, but it felt kind of woke.
It was woke, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was very woke, yeah.
You know, they kind of went that direction with this Candyman. It was kind of like, hey, you're safe, but we're gonna kill this white girl.
And then he kills all the white cops, the cops at the end. Like they made Candyman, and Candyman is not this. They made him by the end of the movie an anti-hero. Yeah. And it was like Candyman's not an anti-hero. He is
he's
a villain.
He's a
villain. He's a monster.
You know
now, he may have not started as a villain. Like,
agree. What happened to him was tragic.
Tragic and horrible, but what he became after that is far worse.
See, but that's the beauty of Candyman, the first one, right?
Excellent movie.
You get that vibe from it. He started off as someone that was, he was a great guy, but then because of who he loved, brought this to him. You know what I mean? And they torture him that way.
Yeah.
And the movie captured it well.
It did well.
Just kind of
Candyman,
you.
The original Candyman, it talks about race, but it doesn't harp on it. Like it's race is an important part of it.
It also talks about romance.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got from like the Candyman. It's like a haunting romance.
Haunting romance. It's like a gothic horror movie, which was like great and scary, and it doesn't hang. It was more concerned in telling a good story rather than trying to be a racial type of commentary.
Yes,
it wasn't about that. It was just like our characters just happen to be different races, and they do talk about it, but it's not. Yeah. It's subtle enough where it doesn't have to overtake the entire dialogue of everything. I think that movie was not good at all. I did not like it at all.
I would say that's way worse than Us.
Way worse. It's one of the worst.
Because you know what it is? It's just like, he's a failing artist, and then he starts, getting upset about, about people commenting on his stuff and stuff like that. And does he make it racial? They're like, oh, you don't like my art because it's,
I don't remember, but I forgot, but like, and then the ending, wasn't it confusing, the ending?
The ending sucked, man.
It was confusing though, right?
Because this is Candyman. What are you doing?
Yeah.
This is not like Star Wars or something like that where you're going to make a trilogy or something like that.
Yeah, and then they summon him like he's some superhero.
You could become Candyman too.
They summon him like Captain Planet at the end. Like when she gets...
Like all the rings come together.
The cops come in and shoot him. Yeah. And the guy's literally on the floor bleeding out to death, and they shoot him while he's on the floor. And you're like, come on, guys, really?
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, then like she's handcuffed. she's like a prominent, like wealthy African American woman, and then they're just treating her like she's some like crackhead or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on, guys, this is not how it really works in real life. But anyway, and then she's handcuffed in the back of the car. She summons him like Captain Planet, and then he like kills all the fucking cops.
Candyman. Oh, I don't want to say it.
I would not say it.
But
I'm
yeah.
not saying it.
They summoned him like he was
like he's a superhero, and then he comes in and he disappears, and then you see the CGI Tony Todd. No, absolutely not. That movie sucked. I didn't like it.
It's sad, man, because I remember I was so excited.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I do feel that Candyman needs a remake though.
The proper one.
Yeah, like a proper one. Yeah, because I feel like it doesn't hold as far as the way it was filmed.
You know, it'd be cool if they made Candyman Chinese. like remake it when he's Chinese. No.
I think people will go crazy.
Yeah, make him Candyman. Make him, but he's Chinese guy though this time.
Make him like a Haitian Candyman.
No. He's Haitian. Isn't that guy Haitian?
Tony Todd?
Not Tony Todd, the one who played Candyman.
Oh yeah.
Is he Haitian?
He's from Aquaman.
He's a good actor. I like him.
He was Black Mantis.
He was also Dr. Manhattan in the new Watchmen series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he showed his penis in that movie.
What's with Dr. Manhattan? They always have to show his dick.
Because he doesn't care.
But I know, but it's just like, all right, come on. Like,
yeah, Dr. Manhattan doesn't care. He's like he just
swings
swings around his dick. He don't care.
Dick.
Yeah, he doesn't care because it doesn't matter to him. What's a dick?
Now I wonder, was that really his dick though?
It was his dick. Yeah, it was.
Can you imagine you're filming a movie?
Imagine your dick is that big though. It's a fucking huge dick.
You know what's crazy?
Yo, his dick was humongous in that movie.
There was an HBO movie called something with the gods. There was like a bunch of gods, and they're like,
oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There was a djinn in the movie. Where this djinn bangs a guy, and this guy's penis was like below his knee. And I was just
think that's fake?
I don't know. It was CGI though, because
that's
he was
probably
a
fake.
djinn,
Then. Yeah.
so he was like fire. But I'm just like, damn, why they have the CGI that big? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happens to a comfortable 3-inch? You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Comfortable.
At least it's not weird penis. You're like that one guy.
You're talking
but
about,
you never saw the Watchmen TV series.
I only saw the first
So you didn't see the guy's
episode,
penis.
No, I did not see his penis.
His penis is big as fuck.
I saw Dr. Manhattan's penis in the Zack Snyder's.
No, that's a fake one. That's fake. That's blue.
But we don't know.
No, it's fake. It's fake. That's,
Wait,
you think it's Billy Crab's penis?
Hold up, his dick was black?
Yeah, in the new one. Yeah. It was
Really?
really his
How?
penis. No, I didn't even know.
blue.
I didn't even know his penis was really his penis. But then, like, I was at work, and then one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, you seen the new Watchmen movie?" I'm like, "The TV show with
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, it was good. I loved it. I actually loved that one." And then
Yeah.
I was like, "There was a scene where
I heard it's much better than their
Great.
because it actually
it expands and it's good."
exactly.
But so there's a scene where he's walking butt ass naked. The guy who played Candyman, I forgot his name. Yeah. So he's naked in his black man form. His penis is really it's like really big penis.
Do you
like
think
intimidatingly big? You're like, what the fuck? How do you get a big?
What will happen if you're the actor in this role, right? And you have a small penis?
No, you can't.
But
I would get an
let's just say
extender.
they really want you, but like,
Your
can they
penis is small?
CGI it?
No, I would get an extender. I would just put like a prosthetic, like our boy in Boogie Nights.
Yeah. Well, I heard he got surgery for it.
No. This
Mark
is fake.
Wahlberg,
It's
we're talking
fake.
about.
It's a prosthetic.
I don't know. There's rumors that he got prosthetics. Well, he got surgery to make his dick bigger for that role.
No, man, it's prosthetic, dude.
I don't know. I gotta see.
How do you get a surgery? Look, there's only surgery. The only surgery you can do to make your penis bigger, you can get like the silicone or the implant to make it thicker.
Yeah, well,
or you can cut the thing. You know, you're a nurse. You know, you can cut that little.
This is what I was gonna say. If you're a grower, then you can expand your penis because they just like that base.
They cut that base, and then it's double
down.
the size. Yeah, but that's only visibility.
But his dick was black.
No, he's black.
No, but I'm just saying he's Dr. Manhattan. He's blue.
Yeah, no, but when he was in black form, because he's in black form
Damn, that's
sometimes,
crazy.
and then he's in blue form sometimes. But when he was in black form,
if I had a ginormous dick, I'd just fucking walk around naked all the time. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like a fucking just.
So
huge.
wait, the thing is that was really his penis because one of my coworkers was like, "Yo,
we're going like a 5-minute.
Yo, my coworker's like, "Yo," she was like, "Yo, that's really his dick." I was like, "That's really his dick."
How do they know? Like,
no, I think he did an interview and he said that was really his dick.
But anybody would do an interview with that, like, be like, "Oh, that's not my dick, by the way."
Yeah, but it was. No, you didn't see it though. You got to see his. It's a really big dick.
But you got to see that.
But you know what's funny about guys?
You know
what's funny about guys? The guys are the only ones that are like hung up on dick size.
Well,
like women don't really care.
Every guy's definitely gotten the ruler and just be like,
yeah. We never
bad.
think it's big enough, and we never think like we always think it's like, but we're the only ones hung up on it. Like honestly, like women like are just like whatever, man. You guys are fucking so hung up on that shit. Like,
yeah. And
But
especially when you have to go to like a doctor's office and they have to see your dick. Like,
yeah, I hate that.
It's insanely small right now.
You're already scared. It's cold.
Hey, we got a small dick over here.
It's cold in there, especially if you have a female doctor.
Yeah, it's insanely cold. Oh my god.
Yeah, it sucks.
I remember I had a female doctor. She had to do like a prostate exam.
Yeah.
And she was, just for physical. It was crazy, man, because I was just like, oh my god, this is crazy. She's like cupping my balls, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Don't get hard, kind of stuff. You know what I
Don't
mean?
get hard.
Yeah,
is that easy?
I get hard pretty quick. Yeah.
Well, you got to blast one off before you go if you have a hot female doctor. But
well,
anyway.
But anyways, real quick, that God's show.
Yeah.
There's a Jin scene where he bangs somebody. And it's insanely big, his dick.
It's fake though. It's CGI. You said.
But I'm just saying, like, why would you CGI a dick that big?
Why not? He's a god.
It's fucking like up to. Bro,
but that's exaggerated because he's a god.
It's exaggerated. I'm like, yo, who? And he's banging a guy.
What's the name of the guy?
It's a Jin in that God's movie.
Show.
HBO.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, before this, this is part 1 of our Jordan Peele retrospective. Please like and subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned for part 2 where we analyze our most divisive one, where we do a deep dive into his most egregious one.
His crappiest movie.
Maybe the crappiest movie.
Or maybe the best movie he's ever done.
Maybe the best movie. Maybe you like this movie. Nope. We're going to go into that in a little bit more in the next one and The Twilight Zone. But this is where we're going to end it now because this video is going a little long. And out.